Good morning and welcome again to the 22nd Annual Australian Technology Conference for Seniors, with this year's theme being Living Your Best Online Life. We have a great program, as I've announced before, but it's time to launch into a special introduction from Nan Bosler and then Sam Isaccs. Nan Bosler is, of course, the beloved president and founder of ASCA and has been here for the last 22 years helping to connect seniors with technology. It might be Nan's final conference as president, but it won't be her last as a conference attendee. And we have a special presentation for Nan later today, so please do stick around for that. Joining Nan in a moment also will be Sam Isaccs, a director of ASCA and one of the 2020 ASCA conference convener. And not only is it the first conference that she has organized, but the first online conference too. Sam has been heroic in her preparations to make this conference as smooth as possible. And as one of the people helping Sam to organize the conference, along with a great team from being there, as you've heard me speak about a little bit before, we have a wonderful day planned. So without further ado, over to you, Nan and Sam.
Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody. I'm excited to welcome you to our 22nd Australian Technology Conference for Seniors. It's a great pleasure to know that so many of you are sharing yet another ASCA conference with us. But how special if this is your first one. We have participants from the very, very top of Western Australia, right down to the bottom corner of that state, from Queensland, from South Australia, New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, and we have overseas guests as well. We have attendees from Europe, Asia, North America. This attendance is absolutely amazing. Welcome each and every one of you. Now, may I commence by acknowledging that although we individually live on the land of many different Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, we are gathered together to share this event. And may I acknowledge on behalf of ASCA, the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia, their connection to land, water, and community. We pay our respects to them, their cultures, and to their elders, past, present, and emerging. Well, with COVID-19 closing borders and continuing to cause havoc, we wondered if it was wise to hold a conference this year. At that stage, November was an awful long way away. We wondered, should we book our usual venue? The decision was made that ASCA's 2020 conference would be online. It was clearly the right decision, and we've worked hard to make sure that this is the best conference yet. The theme, Living Your Best Online Life. Now, this year, we are reflecting the positive changes seniors have made and can make to adapt to the world we live in. A big emphasis will be on content that is easily actionable and that will make a real difference to your life. You've been able to join us using your computer or more mobile device from the comfort of your home, or perhaps you're in your local club room. You didn't have to travel. Now, dare I ask, who's still wearing slippers? Now, ASCA has a rich history created by volunteers, just like most of you in our audience. This conference has been made possible by the work of volunteers. We're grateful for the technical support from being there. Sincere thanks to our sponsors for their donations. And can you believe 47 gifts will be given away to lucky winners during the conference? 47, and a few have already been given away. ASCA provides a channel of communication between like-minded people who want to share in the potential of the age of technology to serve their individual or community goals. Now, I know seniors can be hesitant to attempt to use a computer or mobile device. Even today, we still hear the protest, I could never learn to use a computer. I just make a fool of myself. Well, these and many other negative thoughts can swirl around in their minds, but you know that computer clubs provide a friendly, non-threatening environment. Seniors gain confidence in the training and support they're given because the tutors or mentors are very often fellow club members, often of a similar age and of similar life experiences. Can you imagine how difficult this pandemic has made life for those who have no technology skills? They have been greatly disadvantaged. The computer skills gained are often used to enable them to participate in other community groups. For instance, secretary, treasurer. Yet others use their new skills to take up work, usually part-time, often in a family business. And imagine being able to swap emails with your grandchildren again. Fantastic. It's very hard to keep up with technology. There seems to be a new gadget or process becoming available regularly. E-health is one of the most important aspects, one of the most important issues to becoming part of our world. One of my first introductions to e-health was a request from the Prince of Wales Hospital in Sydney for training procedures to help people learn how to use a mouse. It was their plan to offer early release for cardiac patients who would then be monitored via their home computer. The training program was to be used to help to teach patients' carers to use a computer to facilitate that monitoring. However, my real introduction to e-health happened at the 5th Australian Computer Seminar in 2003. Barry was one of the presenters. He had been a graphic artist, but he was a member of one of our computer clubs. And he was his wife Lois's primary carer. His wonderful story told us how he used his home computer to positively change his wife Lois's life. Being computer literate enabled them to eliminate the distance that they needed to travel and the time that took them to achieve the level of medical care, because Lois could become part of a home dialysis program. It improved their quality of life. I already knew the difference being able to use a computer made to the life of a carer who would be able to keep in touch with the world around them via their computer while caring for a spouse at home. It opened the world for me and kept me in touch with my community as I cared for my late husband at home for 13 years. You know, seniors love options. They don't have to use all the modern gadgets if they don't want to, but they really find it difficult if they can't use at least some of the modern communication forms. I applaud every club who has made the effort to keep connected to their members while clubroom doors have been closed. Social inclusion is a valuable aspect of club life, and many of our members are in their older years and living alone, and their general well-being has been improved by the efforts that you have made to keep them involved. Well done. Give yourselves a clap. Now, this year has been one that I'm sure none of us could have imagined. This pandemic, this COVID-19 has changed the world around us. The challenges that have been thrust upon us have brought changes that we just didn't imagine. Normal. I wonder if it'll return. I can't deny the fearful situation we find ourselves in. The impact on our lives and the lives of those we love has been unprecedented. Can't ignore any of that. But with respect, I acknowledge the work being done by our government, by frontline workers, and most importantly, by the community in Australia. Of course, there have been negatives, but we really should be looking for the positive things around us, not just the doom and gloom. What a difference the challenges of COVID-19 have made in the way our clubs are managed. It has actually been exciting as we see just what a difference some of our new thinking will have for the future. Online training is already a major part of our programs for remote Western Australia and the Northern Territory, where video conferencing has been the most effective and enjoyable way to master the tyranny of distance, to bring technology to those in areas that just can't manage without online communication. Every experience is a learning opportunity, and together we are learning to cope with the challenges of COVID-19, and some of that learning will smoothly flow to our future activities. ASCA is known as a catalyst to enthuse, to encourage, empower, and assist seniors to explore the satisfaction and benefits of using technology. The pandemic will not change that. I hope you've kept informed by regularly watching the updates on the conference website. The latest conference news and updates provides a wealth of knowledge. The page is a collection of articles and videos that we want to share with you. We hope that they inspire you with new approaches that you and your club might consider. Don't worry if you've missed looking at that page. We are keeping it available so that you can continue to benefit from the information it contains. As Alex has told you, the speakers for this conference have been chosen with great care, and most have agreed to provide a copy of their presentation for inclusion on the conference website after the conference. This is the conference that keeps on giving. In 1997, there were just a few computer clubs for seniors in Sydney, and a small committee was formed to run what was to be the first of many gatherings of seniors who were interested in the idea of using a computer. This seminar for seniors was held at the Menzies Hotel in Sydney. It was just one day. It was at that seminar that we talked about the possibility of forming an umbrella organisation. This led to the formation of ASCA. The first clubs to join ASCA and attended those seminars were Northern Beaches, Forest, Endeavour, Central Coast, and the Hills. A second seminar was held at the Menzies the following year. By then, of course, the clubs were beginning to multiply. It remained a one-day event each year until 28, and then we grew to become a two-day conference, the Australian Computer Conference for Seniors. But soon we had another change. The word computer became technology because our clubs were for much more than just computers. This, our 22nd conference, has brought another change. We are online. I sincerely hope that you are going to enjoy and benefit from this conference. Let me now introduce you to Sam Isaccs. Sam, an ASCA director, and is the conference convener. I applaud the work she and her committee have done as they put in time, energy, and thought into this experience that would help you to live your best life online. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sam.
Thanks so much, Nan. And that was a lovely speech. I think it really summed up the last year for us all. It's been fantastic working with you to bring this conference together, to understand what we need to include within the sessions. And I think we've got a really great lineup today. Well, my role today in this quick 5 minutes is to take you through housekeeping. And traditionally, housekeeping would be that time of the session where we talk about where the fire exits are, where the bathrooms are. Obviously, you're in your own house, you're in your own lounge room. As Nan suggested, you might still be in your own slippers. Good on you. I would be too if I wasn't on screen early in the morning. What we did just want to cover off is this is our first conference, our first online conference. So bear with us. We're going to have technical issues. So I think some of those that logged in early may have noticed we had a bit of a glitch early on. That's fine. That's what this is all about. It's about trying new things. If we do have technical issues, we will pop up a slide that will say, and let you know that we're coming back, and we'll endeavour to come back ASAP. There's a Q&A available at the bottom of the screen. If you have any questions for the speakers throughout the sessions, please pop your questions in there and I'll be able to read them out. Or if you have any questions for us behind the scenes, please do let us know, and we'll be able to answer them either broadly or privately, but that gives us a good way to gauge what's going on. As you may have seen, there's been some polls that we've put up throughout the sessions. I'll launch one now. This is just a quick way for us to either touch base, know that, you know, everyone hasn't drifted away or snuck in a quick nap. Yeah, we'll just continue asking some questions just so we know our audience out there. There's some traditional housekeeping check is lost property. Hopefully no one's going to lose any property, or else if you do, maybe have a look tomorrow underneath the couch, it might be there. If you haven't already seen, the conference program is online, so have a check online if you want to see what speakers are coming up at what time. Do keep in mind that it's Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. If anyone's like me, calculating the times is always a little bit off. Also, we've already had a couple of questions in the, we have a number of questions about recording of speakers, and the speakers will be recorded. There are some that, for their own reasons, don't go up online, but everyone else will be available after the conference. In the next week or so, we'll be popping them online on the same conference link on the ASCA website. Really, that's all that I have from me. I'll end the polling. We have, and share the results with you. We've got quite a number of people who have attended. About 30% of our audience have been to many ASCA conferences, and about another quarter of our audience have been attended one or two before. This is, however, for 37%, the first one that you could attend online, or 10% that this is your first conference. So welcome to those new ASCA conferencees. While I've got time, and just before I hand over to Alex, I've got a couple of questions that have come through. Yes, we have a number of presentations, and the conference will be recorded. Sorry, that's what happens when you try and answer the questions while you're on the screen. But thank you very much. I really hope everyone enjoys today. If you have any questions, feedback, as this is our first time, we're really keen to know which bits are working and which bits you'd like to see more of, less of. So please do send that feedback in.